Kevin Spacey humbled after being cleared of sex offences. And this is Kevin Spacey's a terrifying guy. I'm sorry, I'm scared of him now. Because a lot of the people that accused him mysteriously kept dying. It was really weird. Oscar-winning actor Kevin Spacey has been found not guilty of 9 sex offences at London's Southwark Crown Court. Speaking afterwards, he said he was humbled by the outcome and that there was a lot to process. The Hollywood star, who is 64 today, cried in the dock as the verdicts were read out. Prosecutors had told the jury the star had left the 4 complainants feeling small, diminished and worthless. Spacey denied using his power as an A-lister to get people into bed and described the allegations as a stab in the back. The complainants, now in their 30s and 40s, are entitled to lifelong anonymity under the law. It won't be the same thing that, what's his face? John Venables was given, because that was a different special one. Witnesses and witnesses and victims that appear at trial, they have their own little special one. A London trial, and probably for the best, considering what happened to some of Spacey's other accusers. A London trial that filled front pages for a month has finally reached its climax with today's news. Hollywood star Kevin Spacey has been cleared of all the sexual offences in which he'd been charged. The House of Cards star was in tears as the verdicts were read out, going on to say he was humbled by the outcome of proceedings. As our correspondent Lucy Manning wrote on this page, Spacey will now be hoping to resume a career that's brought him so many accolades. What to read next? Is that literally the article? Oh, fuck's sake. Is this just pish? Is that it? Tear for Kevin Spacey. London trial. Holy shit. That was the article. Oh, no, it's not. I can read this. It's going to be a long... I thought that was the end of the article there, and I was like, are you joking? Jesus Christ, man, journalists have such an easy job. It's going to be a very long road ahead for Spacey to get his career back to where it was when the first allegations emerged. A journalist for an entertainment magazine Variety says. KJ Yossman says that while the not guilty verdict is a huge win for Spacey, whether it will persuade the court of public opinion is another matter. And the way, that's why loads of people, like, you see it all the time, why people come out with twit-longers instead of going to the police, because it is... much, much easier to get a guilty verdict in the court of public opinion than in an actual criminal court where they require things like evidence and the phrase "trust me, bro" just simply doesn't work. She tells BBC News, "I think in the interim he will try and pick up work where he is embraced and welcomed with open arms. That's probably going to be Europe. I think the big question will be if he is able to pick up work in America, his homeland." Yossman points out that Spacey has picked up a little bit of work in recent years. One of those films, British Film Control, was being held until the outcome of his trial. This marks the end of a trial that has lasted almost 4 weeks. You could clearly see the relief on Spacey's face after what must have been an intense time. But this is what the actor wanted. He vowed he would come to England to defend himself and clear his name. After being cleared of the 9 sex offences he had been charged with, Kevin Spacey walked out of Southwark Crown Court straight into the lenses of the gathering media. He gave a brief statement thanking the jury, court staff and his own legal team, saying there was a lot for me to process after what had just happened. Here are a few images of him outside the court. Blah, blah, blah. Who is Kevin Spacey? Before allegations of sexual harassment were first publicly made against him in 2017, Kevin Spacey was one of the most sought-after actors in Hollywood. The 64-year-old struck the delicate balance of being both acclaimed and popular. His name regularly drew crowds to the box office, while his performances were praised by critics. Spacey was well known for his roles in Seven's a great movie, American Beauty, LA Confidential, Horrible Bosses, Baby Driver. I've not actually seen any of those. And the TV series House of Cards, not seen that either. One of Netflix's biggest and earliest hits. I mean, why is The Usual Suspects not mentioned? That was his big one. I mean, you got Seven in there, but The Usual Suspects isn't in there. Okay. His performances on stage and screen won him 2 Oscars, a Tony, an Olivier or whatever, a Golden Globe, a BAFTA, a Critics' Choice, and several Screen Actors Guild Awards. He was given his own star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame in 1999. But a string of allegations of sexual misconduct made against him, part of a Hollywood reckoning, which began with a Harvey Weinstein expose in October 2017, brought his career to a halt. Spacey, who always denied denied the claims, then came out as gay, a move he was criticised for by some figures in the gay community. And I think Philip Schofield tried to copy him, who suggested he was attempting to shift the focus away from the allegations. The actor later expressed his regret for this, saying that was never his intention. Analysis. Spacey will hope to resume a successful career. At times, Spacey was emotional in court. The years of allegations in the US and UK, which he had long denied, seemed to weigh heavily on the actor. He described through the tears how his world had exploded and his work and income had dried up, but even though he's been cleared of all the criminal charges, there were other questions about his behaviour during his time at the Old Vic. After an investigation commissioned by the theatre in 2017, 20 people alleged that the actor had behaved inappropriately. Most were former staff, all were men. But he leaves court and England an innocent man and will be hoping to resume a career that has brought him so many awards and successes. What has happened so far? We're just getting into the fucking pish behind the article now. Right, so if it turned out that absolutely nothing happened and he didn't actually do any of the things he was accused of, then obviously he should face no punishment whatsoever. Right, but the problem is the court of public opinion. And this is one thing that the government understands very, very well. Nicola Sturgeon tried to do it to Alex Salmond. The SNP drummed up a bunch of, basically, short version, Alex Salmond used to be the First Minister of Scotland. He was the leader of the SNP party. Then, after the Scottish independence vote failed, he decided, okay, fuck this, I've fucked up, I'm sorry, I'm resigning. And he rode off into the sunset, and then Nicola Sturgeon took over the party. Then, because Nicola Sturgeon and the SNP aren't really doing anything to actually gain Scottish independence, if anything, they're actually turning people against it, Alex Salmond went, I'm going to fucking come back and I'm going to show you how it's fucking done, because you are fucking everything up. Nicola Sturgeon obviously likes being in charge because she is a power-hungry maniac. Well, not anymore, because she stood down, because she fucked up too. So basically, she was panicking and went, I don't want him back, and then all of a sudden, just not long after Alex Salmond announced he was going to come back to politics, all these weird sexual assault allegations and everything all came up like from inside the SNP. Weirdly timed after he said he was going to be coming back. Then there was a whole massive trial about that. All of it got not proven. Alex Salmond ended up getting a lot of money because all the stuff said against him was bullshit. And but the problem is everyone already believed it immediately because it was like, height of Me Too, oh crap, fucking, has he been accused? Oh, he must be guilty then. But then the trial happened and it turns out he completely wasn't. And if anything, it's had the opposite effect because Alex Salmond's actually doing, well, he's not doing alright, he's doing reasonable, like in the Alba party. And that's what a lot of people do. That's why people go for the court of public opinion, because they know that just the accusation, even if you go to trial and get found totally not guilty, loads of people in the public are still going to be, nah, I think he did it though. I think the court's wrong. I think he did it. Which a lot of people do still think about Alex Salmond, but not a lot, surprisingly. But that's why they try and do it. The government will government or people that want to get you, throw some bullshit charges on you, knowing that none of them will stick, but the accusation is enough to tank you in the eyes of the public. However, in saying all of that, Kevin Spacey is sus as fuck, and I don't fucking trust him, and he's fucking weird, right? I'm sorry, right? I don't know. There's a video that he uploaded to his YouTube channel at the height of when all this stuff was going on. Loads and loads of people came forward, right, going, he did this and he did that, and we were on set and he touched my bum and like all this other type of stuff, right? And one of them was some guy from like Sweden who's apparently related to the Swedish royal family or something like that. He was one of the accusers, and then Kevin Spacey uploaded this weird video to his YouTube channel with him like poking a fire and saying and going on this big monologue, and then he says, kill them with kindness and all that stuff, right? The next day after Kevin Spacey uploaded that video, that guy was dead. Like, suicide, apparently. But that's not the only one. I think there's been about 2 or 3, don't quote me on that, I might be wrong, of Kevin Spacey's accusers who have mysteriously turned up dead. So, it's strange, right? I'm not saying that anything weird or anything is going on, but I mean, the fact that he had so many accusers and got off on a not guilty, and a lot of the accusers wound up dead, I don't know. I'm not going to make any statements or anything like that on it. Maybe a little deep dive main channel video one day after Kevin Spacey's dead, so that I'll be safe.